Everything changed on that fateful day. Looking back, I know that whatever we did changed our lives forever.
The sky raptured and something strange came through.
It was a great adventure. It showed us how little we knew about the universe.
It was scary, yet magical.
I
wish
wish
we
we
could
could do it again.
Part 3. The year's last loveliest smile. Tuesday, September 6th, 1988.
Autumn, as always, brings changes. The leaves take flight, the days shorten, and the weather begins to drive most kids' games indoors. The tourists dwindle and leave, seasonal businesses shutter their doors, and a cozy quiet blankets Great Yarmouth. Over the summer, you four have mostly been separated. Annabeth flew off to New York to attempt to reconnect with her father. Jesse spent longer than he'd anticipated staying with his mother. Kimberly's been heavily involved with football camp and hours upon hours of practice ahead of the club tryouts. And Becky's been able to enjoy some semblance of peace and quiet with a few weeks as the only child in the house. No outside drama has found its way to your doors. In the final weeks of school, Dr. Raff kept to himself, and he was almost sheepish in your presence and would occasionally turn bright red whenever your paths crossed. He has kept himself to himself. Regis has seemingly given up its active search for the item of interest it lost track of in the spring, but more and more unrest has resulted from the increasing takeover of loop operations. There have been redundancies. There is now huge unemployment in the region. There have been protests, larger and louder with each passing week, as working folk decry the influx of outsiders taking jobs that have historically contributed to the stability of this area. But those are troubles for adults. Nothing for you guys to be concerned about. Let's check in with everybody as the summer draws to a close. You're preparing to return to school. Let's start with Annabeth. As you get ready to... Yeah, let's! As you return to your routine, how do you feel about your place in the world?
Oh, Annabeth is having a time at the moment. New York didn't go the way she expected it to go. And she is feeling increasingly untethered, very familiar to how she felt back in the spring. But this time she knows it's not coming from Mumu, it's coming from herself. While she was gone, her dad worked a lot, so she was with like her grandma and her tias a lot. But she doesn't speak Spanish, so there was a very like feeling of being out like outside of things a lot. And then she came home and she felt like she didn't belong there either, and her friends were gone. And she spent like way too much time in the Wendy house just like kicking it with Mumu.
Once you return, You have continued to feel this connection with Mumu the whole summer. It's been distant and difficult,
Yeah.
but it's been there the whole time, and as you return, it grows stronger again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a while since this has happened to you, but once you get back, you begin to have strange dreams. And it's fairly easy to ascertain that they come from your connection with Mumu.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the same. You find yourself floating high above the loop. And as you watch, you begin to be surrounded by other beings that look an awful lot like Mumu's type of creature, but they're subtly different in color or size. And as they begin to surround you, you get a sense of the feeling that is shared between both you and Mumu, that there is a sense of loneliness dissipating. It is with its own kind, and it is happy amongst them. And that feeling lingers a little as you awaken and go about your day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Annabeth understands so much, and she keeps thinking about like what Becky said about trying to get Mumu home. And like she's been trying really hard to like overcome the selfish impulse to keep Mumu. And hasn't brought it back up because there hasn't been a time. So no one else knows about these dreams yet.
Yeah. Let's keep that there. All right. We're going to move to Kimberly next.
Oh.
What is your plan as tryouts for Greater Yarmouth Academy draw closer? How are you going into this recruitment audition process?
Okay. Well, I've written out so many different game plans. You know, you get the thing with like the football posts and stuff like that, and I've got X's over everything, and then proper X's as they're wrong, and then try to put myself in different formations. I try to read a couple of books that talk about like the superhero pose and like talking to yourself. I think it's ridiculous because can't be Cyclops. God, anyway, I try my best trying to come up with all these things, and it's definitely like an anxiety to it. Like she doesn't stop fidgeting, and she keeps thinking about trying to focus on the game and like how can. It's not just about, obviously, as she said to Becky before, it's like being a part of a team and like yes, be a part of a team. But then I'm like, I've got to be a part of the team, but not be the worst. I've got to be the best. Maybe second worst? No, best. So there's lots of extra training in like running up and down various parks, lots of running. The sprint speed has like increased significantly, and it's a sprint speed that none of us in real life would ever reach.
Where does Liam find you? Or do you go to him?
No. I think I've been avoiding him a little bit. Even though, and I don't know, I think obviously the others will know that I talk about Liam in such great, like, oh, he's great, did you see him? And maybe they have seen him, or they've come to matches with me to see him play and stuff, but I don't know how close they are to him or spoken to him. But definitely, I think, because I'm in awe of him, I'm like, I have to focus on my own game. I can't bother him with my silly questions. So I think he probably catches me as I'm taking the bins out one night. And of course I'm like covered, I have like my little chip shop apron, like these sort of red and white, got the paper hat on, and then covered in like fish grease and still smelling of vinegar.
Obviously.
Done.
He's popped in to visit mum and dad and say hi, and he comes out the back alleyway. And when you turn around, he's just sort of leaning up against the wall with like the biggest portion of fish and chips possible. It's like a whale-sized fish, a mountain of scraps, and a couple of chips on the side. He's got to get protein, right?
Yeah.
And
oh, Liam! And I go and give him like the biggest hug, like.
He like holds his chips out of the way, like don't knock them over, but gives you like a one-armed hug on that side.
I didn't know you were coming back. How are you?
Here comes the voice.
waiting.
Hang on, is he hot though?
I guess, yeah, in that sort of little bit lanky footballer kind of way. If you find footballers attractive, like, yeah, probably. He's maybe got a bit of a weird ear from too much heading the ball, but
Canonically,
yeah.
I think Becky has a crush on him.
Excellent.
Because-
Perfect.
Oh no!
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the parents. So this is hello, hi, hey Kimberly, yeah. Yeah, just fancied it dropping in, saying hi.
Oh, it's so good. How's everything been? How's the club? Oh, you've did so well in those matches recently. I just like.
Well, yeah, they're just friendlies. Don't worry, they're just friendlies. Season doesn't start for
until they
another week
become
or two.
unfriendlies, and then
Well-
we smash them, and then we get to the Premier League. League.
He's so used to your enthusiasm. I think you care more about this football club than he does.
Yep.
So he's like, yeah, let's eggs you on a little bit, let you enjoy it. And you spend a bit of time chatting about, like, you know, tactics for the upcoming season. You've got a new manager, the sort of things that he's bringing in and changes.
Yeah.
You're like betting with Liam how many goals he's going to score this year.
At least 100. So that's at least 3 in each match. You got it.
Maybe
Hat-trick.
not that many.
Oh,
I'll try though. I'll try.
okay.
For
Fun.
you.
Yeah.
Mum, Dad say you've been practicing. You've been getting ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just out. You got to go train every day. You got to train
Yeah.
the body and the mind.
And the mind. Yeah.
Mind. Yep.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And camp was all right. You spent the summer
Yeah.
drilling.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
great. Oh, yeah. I met so many of them. I met Christine. I met. Well, someone called himself Pele. I don't think it was Pele.
Probably not.
No, there was Ivor. There was Stephanie. There was just loads of them. It felt really good. They were really cool. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hmm.
Oh well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do. Yeah. If you need any tips, if you want to go out and just have a kickabout.
Oh no, you're very busy. It's
Well,
just
not really. Like I say, I've got
No.
another week before the season starts up. We're just
no,
my head's in training mode,
Oh,
so
you're in training mode. I've got to be in
yeah.
training. I mean, I look. I don't mean to disappoint you, Liam. Like, you're so cool and stuff, but
well,
I have my own plan. I've got my own game plan, and I don't want you to like steal my secrets.
yeah, you wouldn't want that. Yeah, okay,
No,
that's fair. That's
no,
fair.
no. I appreciate
Alright.
it though, but yeah,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Anytime.
yeah.
I'll be there. I mean, I can't. I'll try and throw in a good word for you, but I can't.
Oh,
I don't affect it.
You'll be at the tryouts.
Yeah, of course I will. I'll be there to cheer you on.
Cool.
Is that okay? I don't have to
No,
be if
yeah,
it would
yeah,
make you nervous. I don't want to.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I didn't realize. Would they be worried about bias? Haha.
Because I can't. I mean, they know who you are, but if anything,
do?
that gives you. Yeah,
What?
there's not many Chettelbergs in Great Yarmouth, Kimberly. They know who you are.
Oh. Okay.
They're looking forward to seeing you. Any relative of mine will come from a good gene pool.
Okay.
I'm fast. You're gonna be fast. I'm
Yep.
smart. You're way smarter.
Ah. Cool. Yeah. Oh. Well. I'll have to show you how it's done.
Yeah, I look forward.
Yeah.
I can learn a thing or two. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Are you sure that's okay? Because I don't
Yeah,
want to make
no,
you. I've seemed
no.
to have made you really nervous.
No. 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 Not nervous.
You're
you know what?
sweating, Kimberly.
No. It's the vinegar.
Oh.
No. I want you to be there. I want you. I want Mum and Dad to be there. You know what? I'll invite my friends. I'll invite everyone to come if they're allowed to come.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool.
Great. All right.
Great. Yeah.
Well, listen, you know where I am. You
Yeah.
got my number. If you just
Oh, yeah.
want to chat.
Yeah. No,
Anytime.
no, it's fine. I'll see if I can schedule in between my busy meditation practice and the various sprint trainings, and obviously got
Yeah.
to do the networking with
Yeah.
with the others, and
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to work. I know there's the grease trap isn't going to empty itself.
No. Yeah. Thanks, Liam.
No problem. Come here. And he just sets his fish and chips down on the wall and just like wraps you up in the biggest hug. And he just sits there for a moment
Mhm.
and gives you a little rub on the back. I'm proud of you, mate.
Aw. I mean, feelings. No, you gotta be strong. Otherwise,
Yeah.
how are you gonna pass the ball to other people because they think you're weak? No, the gentle punching of the arms.
It's like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Feelings is for tossers, yeah, all right.
Yeah, tossers. Yeah.
Tossers.
Yep. Cool.
Take care, mate.
All right.
Love you.
Love you.
Scoops up his chips. Heads back round the back. And when he gets to the front, you can hear a couple of like jeering male voices. He's obviously around with some of the lads from the football, and they just go off into the night.
There's definitely a moment of pause as Kimberly's face absolutely drops, and it's like, oh no, whoa. Run back in and forgets to finish off the shift, so goes upstairs in the apron and is desperately trying to find like some sort of tactic sheet to make sure like
have some tactics, any tactics. Yeah. Okay. You will eventually fall into a fitful sleep, and we'll say this is after people have started returning. Not long after Annabeth begins to have her dreams, you also find yourself having a strange Moo-Moo-related dream. This has never happened to you before. But it begins and it repeats most nights. And you find yourself... It starts off as a normal dream. You're just in a beautiful summer's day. The sky is blue, clear, and you're standing somewhere in the Broads. Somewhere that you know. Let's say it's not far from the campsite that you all visited in spring. You recognize this place and you feel comfortable and happy here. And as you stand there, people begin appearing around you. Humans, other people, people that you know. And then increasingly some people that you don't know. And they're all very different. They're all very different from each other, and you can't help but notice and begin to really strongly feel that they're very different from you. You feel connected to them because you know who they are, but at the same time, standing in the middle of this massive group of them, you feel somehow apart. They're talking to each other and they're saying things that you can't necessarily understand. They tell jokes, but you miss the punchlines. And as you all stand there and this social gathering proceeds, the sun begins to go down and the day darkens. And then suddenly you hear a different voice from above. And you feel compelled to look up. And as you do, your body begins to lift off the floor. And the dream ends. You wake up as you begin to levitate up into the air.
Oh no.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything.
Oh no, I've got a big tryout coming up and I'm flying!
If you could fly during tryouts, you would definitely get on the team.
I definitely I'll be bits by I close my eyes. No, it's still happening.
Okay. Who's gonna be next? Jesse, let's come to you. My question for you, Jesse, is what has the summer taught you about your home life?
So far, the summer has taught me that I really did not have a clue what was going on between my parents. It's so jarring to see how happy his mom is in Manchester. And it's not that she was upset as far as you knew, but she's different. It was weird when we got up there, and there was just a lot that we didn't talk about because I think we're alike in that way. But the energy with her is just different. She's lighter and she's happier, and it's heartbreaking.
We talked about Jesse intending to only go up for like a week or so.
Yes.
How long did he stay?
3. But that wasn't anything terrible. It was just that there's so much more in Manchester to do. And you go out one night and there's bands playing and things happening, and I was just reluctant to leave that right away. It's like I will go back to Great Yarmouth, of course, but I just wanted to have fun a little bit, a different kind of fun that I can get.
Yeah. And your mum was able to get you not a job, but the occasional odd job at the community center where she worked, so you were able to earn a bit of pocket money for yourself and gain that bit of independence and be around all types of different people. And there was always events on there, things to be involved with, things to do. How hard was it to come home to your dad, who you love, who you want the best for, but to find it straight up felt like he was avoiding you when you first came home. He was always out of the house. And that's not super unusual for him to be working as many shifts as he possibly can, but it was like he was taking triple shifts on purpose.
At first, I think Jesse thought, oh, I wasn't here, so he was keeping himself busy, and like he's locked in to, he's agreed to some shifts and it'll calm down now that I'm back, and then it didn't change. And there's a frustration there because his mom is so much happier and he knows his dad isn't, and he doesn't want to say anything that might hurt him.
I think the few times that you do get to sit and have a conversation with him, he's genuinely interested and he asks the right questions and wants to hear what you've been up to, but there is an unmistakable undercurrent of sorrow while he's listening to you talk. You too find yourself dreaming of Mumu. And again, this hasn't really happened to you before. You've all been connected to this creature, but it's always come as understood that Annabeth's connection was tighter, was closer, was more affecting her psychologically. But for some reason, now that you're all home, whether you share about these dreams or not, you're all having them. When you dream, you're already up in the sky. You're already floating. You can see a wide hole torn open in the sky. But try as you might to move your body to propel yourself in its direction, you can't get close. You can hear a high-pitched call coming from the other side, and you can see something floating beyond. A creature, a person, an entity, a presence. And as you watch, as you try to get closer to that space, you feel a tug from behind, and someone grasps at the back of your neck and pulls you back down and away. Becky. Little Becky.
Hi.
How do you think you've grown up this summer break?
Ooh. Well, so I think that for the most part, Becky has been left a lot to her own devices. Her older sister was in New York. Jessie was off in Manchester. Kimberly has been very busy with football training. And that has meant that Mumu has probably been left left in Becky's care for a good portion of the summer holidays. Not all of it, but a good portion of it. And I think that has contributed because she's had to learn a level of responsibility in the sort of soul taking care of Moo, where it has been shared before. There's not really been any time for playing a lot of make-believe or getting lost in drawing or finding treasures anymore, because Moo has required attention and food and stimulation, so she's had to find ways to adapt her kind of fun to suit Moo and make Moo a little bit more curious. And I think that she has started to learn a little bit from Annabeth's method of things and has started trying to do a little bit of like sort of light research, reading, in the hopes that she will find some answers that maybe Annabeth has missed that she can gloat about when Annabeth gets back from New York. Equally, she has also had to be a little bit, put herself out there a little bit more and be a little bit more social than she's used to. When Annabeth is home, the family dynamic is often quite focused, certainly from her dad and, you know, from her stepmom too, is often quite focused on, you know, getting Annabeth to engage, because Annabeth is not particularly fond of Kevin. And so Becky is viewed as the slightly easier and less capable child that just needs to be sort of in the room and kept an eye on. But now that Annabeth is away, suddenly she's getting a lot more attention. They have time for her. They have time to kind of do things and hang out, in direct contradiction with her needing to keep an eye on Moo. So she's had to be a little bit smarter, I think, about the way she does things. And that is what has allowed her to kind of grow up, in the sense that I think a lot more confusing feelings have arisen. She's normally a very straightforward kid with very straightforward needs, but in this instance now she's excited about Annabeth coming home and the rest coming home, because that means that the responsibility will be off of her again and it will be a shared thing. But she's also not excited because she's not used to getting this level of attention, and she's not very excited about having to give that up again. And she knows that with her friend's return will come their needs, and perhaps that hers will once more fall by the wayside. So there's kind of a level of like, now she's starting to get conflicting feelings. And why not? Let's just throw in that one football match that she attends with Kimberly, her first crush. She's heard Kimberly talk about Liam so much, and I think that she's never really paid attention. But the moment that she sees him in person for the first time, suddenly every amazing thing that Kimberly has ever said about him comes flying into her head. And she also thinks he might be a deity. So she's like, he doesn't quite know like how to handle it. So I imagine that, you know, Becky's quite quiet most of the time. I think she just doesn't speak at all. I think she just smiles and waves and goes incredibly shy, and probably earns a bit of a like a okay kind of look, and that's kind of the extent. But now she can't stop thinking about this guy, and this has never happened to her before. So
Why is that so cute?
That is amazing.
Wow.
I feel like you know, Becky's 12. I feel like it's time that she had a first crush.
Yeah.
You know? It's a very innocent.
Oh,
crush.
yeah, I like the idea that if you do meet Liam, I'm like chastising him for missing several really key important bits.
Yeah.
And you're just saying like, I'm like, you honestly don't pass the ball. You keep the ball. Ignore Graham. He's
Just
rubbish.
listen to every single word that Kimberly has said and taken it in and not properly processed it until she's seen Liam's face, and now she's like, oh my god, he is amazing.
Incredible.
Okay. At what point during the summer do you think you go and visit Auntie Ethel? Is there any particular incident that makes you think I need to talk to somebody, or is it just a regular occurrence that you'll go and see her?
So it's not a regular occurrence recently. It used to be.
Mm.
I think pre-Moo, I think that Becky has, Becky might have already put herself across as a little bit of a wild child. She is also a little bit sneaky, and she's not been staying on the school grounds quite as much as she should have been during lunchtimes when everyone else goes off to do their own thing and she has nothing better to do. She will often go and spend her lunchtimes at her, who she calls Auntie Ethel, but is not actually any relation of hers, because that's such a thing that people just everyone is an auntie. Yes. Even if they're like not your relation at all. It's really just a quite kindly elderly I would say hippie-ish lady that lives probably just opposite the school, kind of behind the school field. There's like an alleyway, and she can kind of sneak under sort of copse of bushes and then out of a hole in the fence that she's discovered, and probably only she's discovered because Becky explores. She used to go there a lot. Then Moo arrived, and her time has been taken up somewhat. But I think what triggers her to go back is that when she was feeling lonely or sad, she would always go and visit Auntie Ethel to make herself feel a bit better, or just to kind of spend some time away, or probably to hide from the bullies at school. Let's face it, that's probably a really big factor. Yeah. And Annabeth is about to come home. And she's feeling a little conflicted by that. So she's very excited but very nervous. She doesn't know how the dynamic is going to change again. She doesn't know how Annabeth will be. I imagine, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Taylor, that she's probably not really heard anything from Annabeth while she's been out in New York.
You got a postcard like halfway through the second week that she was gone, with like, it had like a picture of like the Empire State Building and some fairy stickers like stuck to it. That was just like a like miss you, like I'll be back soon kind of, like nothing interesting because it's a postcard, but you have heard from her once. Okay. And that was it.
All right. So I think in that case, the biggest thing is probably Becky's feeling a little bit guilty because she has been kind of enjoying elements of Annabeth not being there. Not enjoying time without Annabeth, but just elements of being the only child again. And then to receive a postcard that says "miss you" has made her feel a little bit ashamed of that feeling. So now she's got to go and sort her head out, and Auntie Ethel's pretty good at that.
Yeah. You can head into her house. You know she leaves the back door unlocked. She's just that old school kind of person where she just trusts the neighborhood, trusts society. And so you let yourself in, and as always, there is the smell of coffee and freshly baked cakes. That's just what Auntie Ethel's kitchen smells like. It always has, and it probably always will. From beyond that room, you can also gain a whiff of incense. There's constantly incense burning in her house. The reason that you connected with this seemingly odd body for a 11-year-old girl to connect with is she embraces the fantastical, the supernatural. that belief that you have that there is more than just the mundane. In a world where robots exist on every street corner, where technology is progressing far past people's wildest dreams, she still believes in all things spiritual and beautiful and unseen. She has a living room that is more like a dining room come like it's like a college student's room mixed with grandma's dining room. There are like batiqued rainbow cloths hanging from every corner of the room. There are crystals on every surface, mobiles with crystals hanging from them. Just everything you would find in that kind of shop. And if you know what kind of shop I mean, you know what kind of shop I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You go in and you make your way through to the living room, and you find her just reclining in a very well-worn, very comfortable looking armchair, the kind that has molded itself around the way she sits. And she's just casually shuffling a deck of cards. And without looking up, she says, hello, there you are. How have you been?
Sheepishly, she I think that actually they play a little game of like, Becky's very sneaky. She tries to sneak in and she always is caught. She always like, oh yeah, I know you're there, even though she thinks she's being the sneakiest. So she's just like, trapped. And then she kind of stands up and she says, I'm losing my touch.
I'm not losing mine, and I never will. Come in, there's fresh coffee, there's fresh banana walnut loaf. Help yourself.
She kind of sits down and sort of like she cuts a slice for Auntie Ethel, and then she cuts a slice for herself. And she begins to pick at it, and she says, I'm really sorry that I haven't visited for a while.
That's okay, dear. Things have been busy for you and for me.
Oh, really? How?
No, that's a lie. Nothing has changed, and I like it that way.
She kind of looks around nervously, because if there's anyone that she would be at all inclined to tell about Mumu, it would be Ethel. She tells, and they've like had many discussions of like, if you ever see a fairy, you gotta tell me first. So it's like so she's like, yeah, I have been really busy doing very little.
Anything bothering you?
Oh, well, no, not bothering me as such, but I don't only visit you when things are bothering me.
I know, but it's been such a while. I wondered if there was something that had spurred you to action.
So Annabeth went to New York. And she's coming home tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm very excited. And nervous.
You don't say.
And the others have been away as well, so it's kind of just been me. And she tries it, I think, for the first time, and says, Mum and Dad. But it's I don't think it's bothering me. I think I just don't know how I feel about it.
You've adapted to all of this change very well for an 11-year-old girl.
I'm 12 now.
Beg your pardon, 12. In fact, that reminds me, I know it's a little late, but this is what you get for not coming to see me. And she rules around, she's got like stacks of tarot decks and books and just all sorts of errata around her. But she shuffles through as if she knows what she's looking for, and she comes out with a small, like a crocheted bag, a handmade bag. It's only very small, but she passes it across to you. says, "Happy belated birthday."
Did you make this?
Yeah, I made the bag, yes.
She opens the bag.
And inside, you reach in and you will pull out a very beautiful pendant. It is a silver chain, quite long on you, but you get the sense that once you sort of come of age, it will sit quite nicely. And the centerpiece is a shiny black stone, almost mirror-like polish all across the top of it. It is sort of oval shaped, and is clasped in a silver setting. She says, "That's just a little something. Ward off negativity, ground you a little."
Thanks. And she kind of like looks at it like it's the best present that she's ever received in her life. So she kind of looks at it for a while, and she says, "I suppose if I ask you if the spirits have any answers for me, you're going to tell me I have to find the answers in myself."
You always have to find the answers in yourself, dear, but there are always paths to advice, thought-provoking things that we can do. She leans forward slightly, and you see that she's been shuffling a tarot deck in her hands the whole time you've been talking. And she just spreads the whole deck out in like a rainbow motion across the tablecloth in front of you and says, "You know what to do. Just one."
She considers very carefully.
She giggles slightly like that you do
might
that, but you
be
still
the
do that.
decision that will lay out her entire life's path.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to like touch one or two and then thinks back about it. And then I think she goes with her first choice because she remembered ages ago Auntie Ethel told her to go with instinct rather than like try to change the direction of things. So she goes back to the one that she went to pick first. She's like, "That one."
Okay. And she pushes it out from the deck and flips it over with a deft hand. "I genuinely pulled a card for you, Cat."
Ah! Incredible.
Sometimes the cards just know. You got the Hanged Man reversed.
Oh god.
No joke. I was about to type in that chat. Is it the Hanged Man? Like I was just as a joke. I was about to. Oh.
As someone who doesn't know tarot,
Auntie Ethel will tell all. Don't worry.
Okay.
She flips it over, and you see a man hanging upside down, but from your perspective, he appears to be standing upright. You have pulled the Hanged Man, which is one of the major arcana. And she will say, "Ha! Sometimes they don't tell us things that we didn't already know, but it's nice to see them spelt out so clearly and in such beautiful bold colors. Darling, you've been putting things on pause. You've been in a holding pattern. But the time has come. You're almost ready to move on. And you can do that now. You've had the time to pause, to reflect, to see things from a new perspective, yes?
Yes.
Take what you have learnt. Bring a new energy to your problems. Make a decision. Take a leap. It's time to move on."
Okay. I think she kind of really looks at it. I think when the card was originally pulled, because she doesn't know much about tarot, she probably looked panicked.
Yeah, it's quite a scary card to look at.
That's a Hanged Man.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. But then of course Auntie Ethel laughed and she's like, "Okay, no, it's fine. This is gonna be a thing, a good thing." And she takes a real moment to really think, sort of like sipping at the coffee and sort of eating the rest of her cake, and then she says, "All right. Okay, thank you, Auntie Ethel. It was really nice to see you again. And I will come and visit more
Don't worry, dear. You've got a lot on your plate. Best of luck. I'll be
My
here.
very empty plate. So much on it. And she tries to like do like a little mystical motion. And then she kind of she kind of like looks at the clock, and as she often used to during lunchtime when she'd realized she had about 2 minutes to get back to school, because she's massively overstayed, she looks up and she realizes that even in the 80s her parents are going to start to be wondering where she is, especially as they're now paying a little bit more attention to her, and also it is time for Mumu to be fed. So she kind of like leaps to her feet and she's like, oh my goodness, is that the time? And then she runs out the room, runs back in, waves, and says, see you again soon, and then runs out with her new bag and her new pendant kind of around her neck.
The dreams that you begin to have, you'd almost be forgiven for not realizing that they have any connection to Mumu. You just floating. There's a beautiful blue void around you. There are gaseous pockets and deep, beautiful colors floating around. Bright lights from floating organic bags of gas. Everything is reflective and deep and serene. And you just float. You just feel at peace. You feel content. And that's all.
Oh, I've got quite a nice dream.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, look at me go.
Lucky.
Sorry,
So,
everyone.
as you all reconvene, as you all come back into each other's orbits, and for some of you come back to reality of, oh, we have an alien creature living in our Wendy house. Let's just get an update on that situation. To say that Mumu has grown since the summer, slight understatement. When that egg hatched, Mumu was like a puppy, like cat size is how it was described. Right now, it's been startling to see her grow. Like, she drains battery pack after battery pack, and it fairly quickly became apparent that this is going to become a problem. By the time that the new school term has begun, Mumu is... You couldn't have named her better. She's about the size of a small cow.
No.
Oh no.
Yes.
It's been chafing against the confines of the Wendy house. It's becoming very apparent. You're going to have to find somewhere else for Mumu to go.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But this is the major problem that you now face. Where can you store an alien creature that looks like an overgrown hippo? Now, in terms of sustenance, you've still got a decent supply of electricity, and honestly, her appetite seems to be waning. You get the impression that she needs a lot to start her off, and then it tapers off. She's pretty much... She's on her way. Neodymium is another matter. You are beginning to run low. The package that you were given, she has worked her way through that, and she shows no signs of slowing down. You're probably going to have to replenish your supply.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, I'll hand the reins over to you entirely now. How would you like to begin to approach this problem and reconnect with one another?
So is the return to school imminent?
Let's say that you're already back.
I would like to do something before we got back.
Absolutely fine.
If that's okay,
Of
to start
course.
off the reconnection process.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the night, like maybe not the night before we go back to school, but like in that we're prepping lead up, I call a meeting at the Wendy house, but it's outside the Wendy house because Mumu is in the Wendy house. Because I brought gifts for everybody back from New York, and it's the first time that we've actually been together. I've been keeping Becky out of my room specifically because she's not allowed her gift until we all get the gifts together.
Incredible.
But Annabeth left with like a small suitcase and came back with one that was twice as big. So it's like the sun is setting. We're all sitting on the beach outside the Wendy house, and Annabeth has like her small suitcase with her. She's like, so while I was in New York, I saw things that kind of reminded me of all of you, and I brought back gifts. And she's gonna start with Kimberly. She goes, this was the biggest one. Like I did have to convince my grandma, not that it was hard, to get me a new suitcase because I couldn't fit this in my bag. I know you're a big fan of football.
Yep.
And in New York they call it soccer. And this is what they think of football is. And she pulls out an American football. and she hands it over to Kimberly. Like, so it's very much like a rugby ball.
Yeah.
For people in the audience who don't know what an American football is.
What? How did they kick it? It doesn't have any.
They don't. My dad took me to a game.
Right?
It's like rugby, but with pads, like with like these big like helmet and shoulder pads.
Violence.
It's so Kimberly. It's so like I honestly wasn't all that interested. I'll be honest. I was reading my book, but like the bits that I did see, because my dad stood up and started cheering the way that like your dad does at the pub and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so violent. Like they keep smacking the heads together. It's yeah. That's not your only gift though, because I didn't want to give you just the weird football. Here you go, and it's like a small package, and she's like, I need you to reverse engineer these. And inside the package is like a moon pie, some Twinkies, like a pudding cup.
A reverse gift. I see. Okay.
I thought it would be a fun challenge because I had a look at cookbooks and they don't really have these, but just try one. There's like multiple of each thing.
Okay.
So we can kind of share it and the others can kind of have snacks while she's passing out gifts. But she's like, I saw these and I thought that you would enjoy them and maybe enjoy the challenge of making them.
Kimberly is absolutely speechless. And she just then does give Annabeth possibly the biggest bear hug she's ever done with football. It's good to have you back. Oh, this is great. Okay, I'll get a notebook and try and I'll start. Oh, way too much corn syrup, and then.
Incredible. Becky, you're next. For the audience, I did look these up about when they were released. You do you know what the Beanie Baby teddy bears were?
Yes.
With the little TY tag.
Yes.
They came out in '84, so they definitely would have been around. And you have two. You have one that has like a pair of like handmade, like just like a plain like it's like a light blue color. And Annabeth on a rainy day has clearly tried to make it some fairy wings. And it's not great, but she's given it her best go. And then one of them does look like that. It's like that same kind of like oxidized copper, like Statue of Liberty bear.
Incredible.
I don't know if these are real. I made these up for the plot, but
And I've decided that not only are they real, but in 50 years' time, Becky will be able to sell them for an inordinate amount of money.
It's gonna be
They are
worth
priceless.
so much.
But she kind of like looks at it, and even the wings, like she studies it in very great detail. Because
don't look too closely.
This
It's
is an
bad.
attempt the arts and crafts from Annabeth, and that's a really big thing for her. So she's just kind of just like, thanks, Annabeth. Like, and she kind of like, I think that she like really goes to ask like lots of questions. Maybe she asks like a lot of like, can you get them in the UK? Like, I want to start collecting them. This is immediately a fixation. But then she kind of like realizes that Jesse's present is next, so she pulls back, and she just kind of like holds back and waits.
Annabeth reaches into her bag and she blushes a little bit because she notices that like Becky and Kimberly have gone very quiet and was hoping for the opposite effect by giving them their gifts first and giving them things to be excited and talk about. And she pulls out a cassette, like a little cassette in like the little plastic box, and just kind of slides it over to Jessie. So my dad worked a lot while I was out there, and sometimes my grandma would take me to the tube station, or no, they call it the subway, to like wait and meet him. And there was this busker there, and he had like really good music, and it made me think of you. It's not your usual stuff, but I thought that you would enjoy it. So I was speaking to him one day, and my grandma got real mad, but he didn't like have any tapes or anything. So I used my pocket money and I got him like a little like portable tape recorder, and I listened to him play, so that way you could hear it too. Yeah.
Jessie looks at this tape and just really like stares at the tape as Annabeth is telling the story. And then there's a look that passes over her face that's annoyed. But it's annoyed not at Annabeth, even though it might read that way. It's annoyed because Jessie has been trying to figure out the grand gesture that she's supposed to do. Just been trying while she's been in Manchester and going out and listening to all of these amazing bands, and she needs to figure out this music so that she can do something for Annabeth, and Annabeth is still doing things for her, and it's so annoying. She can't figure out what to do. Like there's music in her head, but it doesn't make sense, and there are no words, and she sucks at lyrics, and it's frustrating her, and she just sighs. Thanks, Annabeth. No, this is really cool. Thank you.
No worries. Oh, and also, and she tips her bag out, and there's just like Tootsie Rolls and like mini like chocolate bars and like all of, like Hershey's Kisses, like all of this stuff, like all of this thing, these like candies, which is like mostly the like she could have sacrificed some stuff to get the football in. It was this candy that she was stockpiling to bring back. She like pops a Jolly Rancher in her mouth and goes, "These have been in my room for some number of weeks. I don't know how much longer they're gonna last. We should probably do something about this."
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! We'll save you.
I do
Oh,
think that Becky eats a Hershey's Kiss and then just like, "Well, it's no Cadbury's, is it?"
Good.
But she eats it anyway.
Obviously. Never turn down free chocolate.
Agreed.
All right, so you're having this meeting outside, but all the while inside is a large problem. How are you going to tackle this? This is totally freeform. I have clues that I can give you. There are places you can go to do research. But what are you thinking? What is your first sort of inkling? What are we going to do about this?
We need a new hideout.
I think that, like, along those lines, I feel like Becky's first inkling would be like, can we look into or figure out where there might be some like abandoned buildings or abandoned
That's what I was
barns
thinking.
or something in Great Yarmouth that like we can figure out for Moo?
Awesome. How are you going to look into that? Anybody you can tap? Any research you could possibly do? Any rumors that might be passing around school?
The library is
Obviously,
probably
the library.
the best place to start. Specifically, like, this is so convoluted, but this is genuinely my first thought, is comparing like phone books, like previous phone books, to like for like looking at like agriculture and farming and seeing what is there in previous years and then what is no longer there.
Amazing thought. I love that. Okay.
Oh,
Kat, why are you looking at me like that?
damn! Out of bed, just like, don't worry, everyone, I got it all worked out. And
Oh, I don't know that it would work, but it's like if we don't, because if we ask people, it's going to be suspicious, and they're going to be like, "Why do you want to know?" Like, you're a bunch of teens. Like, you want to go do loitering? You can loiter literally anywhere. Don't do it in abandoned places where you can get hurt. And especially if we're looking like for like somewhere big enough to store Moo, like warehouses. Ideally like farms, so Moo can have like a tiny bit of a wander. That's gonna be so suspicious. So we've got to do this in like the least suspicious way possible.
Maybe the campsite, you know, where we first saw Moo, like, or Big Moo. Oh no, Big Moo. But it might be closed for the autumn and winter, so maybe there's places around there.
Oh, that's so smart.
Ooh.
I do have my moments.
Okay, so we've got two solid starting places.
Yep.
Do we need to make rolls?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Library first?
Okay. I believe my investigate is something ridiculously high, like an 8.
Well, hey, let's set the scene. Let's go to the library. You like the library. We all like the library.
We love the library.
And the library are going to love seeing you. You remember, I don't think we even named the librarian. He was just some crusty, rude old guy.
He's not dead yet?
Not yet, no. He's only in his 50s, Annabeth. And
wow.
Look, the
America's
summer was
changed
hot.
you.
The summer was hot. I could have taken him out.
America's changed you. 50 is the new 29. He is still kicking. If by kicking you mean scowling at kids.
Mhm.
He gives you like a bit of a stern look, but that's pretty normal. I think if anything, it's more distrust. Why are you here before school has even properly started? What is this? What are you up to? He will direct you to the relevant area, to the relevant Dewey Decimal Code. Do me a... Unrelated to this research, somebody give me... In fact, no, it's not even a roll. It's just there. You're the kind of people who are interested in what's going on in your local community, and you take a brief look at the notice board, like the community cork board. That's always good for a giggle, if nothing else. You see a couple of things. You see the usual, like, people trying to sell things off or trade in, like, it's always baby prams and things like that. You see a flyer for a new club which is starting up, the UFO Club, which seems kind of interesting, and it talks about meeting. It's going to be based at school, so you could investigate that when you get to school if you would like. You also see a stack of newspapers, which I'm not going to give you just yet, but if you scoop one of those up, we can talk about it later. But yeah, you head over to the relevant area of the library. Are you all going, or is just Annabeth taking this one?
I'm good. I don't need to go to the library.
I'll go.
I mean, I've got football
Fantastic.
practice, so you know,
Obviously.
obviously.
Becky, you coming?
Wait, is Kimberly going to football practice? Is Liam?
If you want to come, you can. Yeah.
Do it. Do it for the bands.
Do it for the buns. You know what? Yeah, let's feed it in. I think that like Annabeth might be a bit taken aback actually. Becky will kind of go, oh, no, you go to the library. I'm gonna go and watch Kimberly play football.
Cool.
If that's okay with you.
No, that's fine. Yep.
Do you
just
not
gonna be...
want me
no,
there?
No. Yes, you come. I need practice. You need to give me pointers, possibly. Yep.
Kimberly, are you definitely actually going to practice?
No.
Oh no!
What?
Oh,
Oh
oh no!
What is going on with you two?
I don't.
I mean, no. I think. No. Yeah. Come. Yeah. You know what? I don't want to go to the boring library. Boring. Yeah. Come, Becky. We'll go to practice. And then Kimberly's like, oh no.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Becky is none the wiser of what is going on with Kimberly, so she's just excited to go to practice and maybe see Liam. So she's like, okay.
Cool.
As they leave, Jesse's to Annabeth. The two of them seem a little weird to you.
Becky's been. I'll admit, I haven't been home as much as maybe I should have been after I got back from New York, but Becky's been a little bit weird, and this isn't the first time that she's gone with Kimberly to practice.
No.
Do you think?
Huh.
And I kind of look at Jessie and then kind of like look into the middle distance and then look back at Jessie. Do you think she's got like a crush on someone there?
Maybe. Do you think she has a crush on Kimberly?
Yes. It's the level of chaos I wanted to ensue.
You know what? I'm gonna sit on that one for a second.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go. And we head off to the library. When the librarian like glares at them, Annabeth kind of pulls self-consciously at her leather jacket because she has been wearing her leather jacket. Like she wore it all the way back from New York and has basically not taken it off since as it was like the big gift from her dad.
Is the rest of the look coordinated to now match the leather jacket, or is it just I'm the same old Annabeth with added leather jacket?
She has definitely changed her wardrobe up a little bit. So it's like if she wears her dungarees, it's with a black t-shirt now instead of a white one.
Awesome. That's growth.
But she has been rocking like basically her school skirt. It's like it looks like an old school skirt that she's dyed black. And it's like a little bit patchy and she has done it herself. But she's like she's trying. She's not sure what she's trying, but she's trying something and no one has said anything about it. And she's feeling really she's in that part where she feels really self-conscious because it's like, have I made a bad decision? But also I've committed to this for like the past 3 weeks. So I kind of have to see it through to something.
Okay. You head to the library, you get your scornful looks, and you head towards the agriculture section. So, you're going to give me a roll. What exactly is it that you're looking for?
So I'm not looking necessarily at the agriculture section of the library. I'm looking at the agriculture section of the yellow pages.
Got you.
I've got like two. So I've got like maybe like this year's one, and then like one from like last year or the year before.
Okay.
And I'm literally like running my fingers down and comparing them. And when the lines shift, because it means something has either changed names or no longer is operating, I'm like writing that down to then go and look and see what happened to it. It's really long. It's such
Okay.
a long process.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it meticulously.
Yeah. There's a lot of farms in this area. Give me a roll.
What role?
So I'm gonna say this is probably it's investigate that gets you all the questions, isn't it? So that might be too specific. Maybe it's closer to calculate or comprehend. Let's have a little look. Let's see what we can see.
Calculate is tech, which I don't think this is tech.
No, comprehend is mind. The ability to have the right piece of information or to be able to find it at a school, library, or similar location. This is definitely a comprehend. How are the dice treating you today, Taylor?
I got 1 success.
Excellent. All right.
Out of 7 rolled, I got 1 success.
The game master will give you the information.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I will give the information. I will tell you that you don't find it in that location, so you're going to have to do a little bit more digging.
Yeah.
So you don't find anything in the yellow pages, but your eye drifts over to this newspaper that you've collected. It's just a local paper. And for whatever reason, you're flipping through it while you think about what your next plan of action might be. And one thing that catches your eye is this tiny little article towards sort of in the first 10-ish pages as a local interest kind of piece. Everyone should now be able to see it in handouts.
Ooh. Newspaper headline.
Oh.
Are
Shit.
we gonna get a boat?
It is a magnetrine freighter.
That's much bigger than a
Oh,
beast.
we gonna get. We do know someone who can fix this up.
We do.
It will take him a decade by himself, but
Incredible.
So,
if anyone can do it, I don't think it's Kevin, but I'm willing to give him a shot.
I think
Okay.
of everyone we know, Kevin is probably the person that is most likely to do it, but it will still be difficult.
10 years, like Max.
so yes, I will give you an extra detail, because it's not finding the solution is not the point of this mystery, and I kind of love it for that. The article, there is a little bit more detail, and it does say that it has been the free to choose, the magnetrine freighter, the location that has been chosen for it to be placed for its sort of retirement is a piece of land attached to something called Ormsby Farm. Oh, let's type that out.
Alexa,
Ormsby
play The Best of
Farm.
Both Worlds by Hannah Montana.
It sounds pretty perfect. You don't know anything about it, so you're going to have to look up Ormsby Farm and see what you can see about it.
Is that spelled anywhere?
I have put it in
Thank you.
video.
Well, we're in the right place to look for it. Can I do that now?
Absolutely, yeah.
I will look it up. Another comprehend?
Yeah, why not? Oh yes, that is the headline. The headline is Freighter decommissioned, left to rust at Ormsby Farm.
Are you kidding me? I rolled 7 dice, 0 successes.
Okay. So
That's
push.
frustrating. Yes, I want to push. I'm back in action. What condition am I gonna take?
Interesting.
I know exactly what I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take upset because Jesse was weird when I gave them a gift.
And is presumably continuing to be slightly weird as this
Jesse
process.
is still weird. Like, you're doing all of this research, and Jesse is there beside you at the table, but not really helping, just kind of tapping on the desk. You hear like the occasional like metallic click from somewhere beneath the desk. Like nothing helpful.
I am. This like the most conversation I got from Jesse was about Becky having a crush on Kimberly, and honestly, it's irking me just a little bit. I did get 2 successes though in exchange for a
Excellent.
condition.
Excellent.
So
So the bonus, I think the bonus effect is an extra piece of information, so that's great. I can give you everything. So you look up Ormsby Farm. You look it up in a couple of different places, and that's how you get different pieces of information. So what you get about it, just from like book learnings, you know that you find out that Ormsby Farm is owned by a family called the Chapmans, and it has done for a long, long time. There has been, I will say that you get this from old newspapers actually, or like microfiche. Love a microfiche montage in a movie. Love that. There were some legal issues, like maybe a decade or so back, and it surrounded inheritance and ownership. And basically, there is a chunk of land on Ormsby Farm that has long been contested, and so it has gone derelict. Like nobody has been using it. It is a peninsula that breaks off into the lake. That piece of land has not been used and just has been left to overgrow, just become absolute wilderness. The current owner is a Betty Chapman. She currently runs the farm. And so you find the location. They are major employers of farmhands. There's lots of people who have jobs there. You probably could find somebody connected to them if you wanted to, as an extra source of information. But because of that extra success, I will say that you are smart enough, Annabeth, to decide to look it up on a map as well. And what you find is it's just brilliant reading. It just makes you so happy to read. The disused piece of land is a peninsula. It is surrounded on most sides by a lake, by an actual one of the Norfolk Broads itself. And on any other side, it is just surrounded by forest, by trees. It is entirely secluded and isolated, and nobody goes there. It appears from the newspaper article that Mrs. Chapman has agreed to like rent this piece of land for the freighter to get some kind of use out of it, to get some money back for it. And it's not intended to be used for anything. It's literally just there to be left to rust.
fair. Fantastic.
The legal ruling is that this piece of land cannot be used for anything other than mooring boats, and that is sort of the legal loophole that they have passed through here.
Interesting. So it's going to be dumped as is, or are they going to be doing any works to it first?
It has been completely decommissioned and stripped. There is nothing inside it.
I'm not thinking about what's inside it necessarily, but more what's on the outside of it, which is the neodymium rods. It's gone.
No detail. Nothing written about it.
Gotta find out. Has this happened, or is this happening?
The newspaper was like this week's newspaper, so it's sort of happening currently. It might be a couple of days before it's settled and like safe for you guys to go and visit.
Perfect, because now we move on to phase 2, which is how on earth are we going to get Mumu from the beach to the farm? But that's a group conversation. So Annabeth makes all of her notes in a fresh notebook, not her fanfiction one, because there's too much incriminating evidence in there and not enough room for fanfic. And it's like, all right, well, let's go then, and like packs up and leaves.
You get everything you need.
Yeah, I think there's some cool stuff here. We need to talk to the others, so it's best if we do it as a group.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's feeling a bit frosty round here.
You don't say.
Maybe Becky should have gone with him.
I don't know if it would have helped.
They'll figure it out. I'm sure it'll be fine. In the meantime, where have you two gone, Becky and Kimberly?
So I think that Becky has been walking beside Kimberly and absolutely talking her ear off because she's incredibly excited. She does not mention Liam. I will absolutely state that, but she is chattering excitedly. And the thing that she's talking about is that she has been, as a surprise, she has been some of Annabeth's fan fiction that she talks about all the time, and it's all like romance stuff, and like that's all gross and boring. Well, Becky seems to have suddenly grown a taste for romance, and she has begun drawing illustrations for Annabeth's fan fiction.
Oh God.
And so she, but like as a surprise to like be like, when her book gets published, this is going to be the illustrations. And she's just talking and talking, and she's like flipping through her notebooks, her like sketchbooks, and she's just like, yeah, so they've actually, wait, not that one. And then she like flips through past, and she's very flustered for a moment, like she fully pulls back and like looks past, flips past all of the like Becky Hart Liam pages, and then opens up to this like random page of like two like people like holding hands. It's a very sweet like look at like what romance is. It's like two people like looking very shy. And again, Becky is quite good at art, so it looks pretty good, but it's unpracticed. These are unpracticed poses, so it's like the same
draft
over and over.
Very good.
Well, I was thinking more like second draft.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yep. Yep.
What do you think? Do you think she's gonna like them?
I think she'll love them. Yep. She'll be really well. Yeah. I'm trying to look for a place to lose Becky in.
Hello.
Wow.
I'm like, yep.
Okay. I mean, I'm happy to make that easy for you.
No.
Becky's very distracted right now, but she's also very chatty. So,
Kimberly is also incredibly distracted as well. So I think it'd be funny just be like, if I just walk very quickly through this market space, maybe, maybe, and then you're just on the other side. It's like, oh, okay, hello, sorry, yep, no, practice is this way.
Wait for me. Like,
yep,
come on. You. And then I think she does kind of like clock a little bit, and she kind of like puts her sketch pad back, and she's like, "Are you okay? You're being weird."
Fine. No, weird. I'm not weird.
You walk really fast normally, but like, you're walking really fast.
I've been practicing. It's important to have a fast walking speed for.
Yeah, but I'm not you. You know.
Sorry, but we're almost there at practice. But I think Becky would realize that I've taken like an incredibly weird route. Like nothing straight to. Definitely, we're not going to the stadium or anything like that. But like we get to like a park, and I go, "Oh, it's the wrong park. Oh no, we're gonna be late." Oh, and then back on myself.
I think she kind of like frowns, and maybe she begins to get a sense that she's not wanted here, and like not in like, and like normally she would just kind of sit with that and let it hurt, but outwardly be like, do you want me to go home? But like, I think that this time she kind of considers Auntie Ethel's words, and she's like, no, I need to come at this with a fresh perspective. So she's just like, I'm beginning to feel like I'm not wanted here, and I just wanted to ask if that's the case, and if that is the case, why is that the case? Did I do something wrong?
No. No, you haven't done something wrong.
Okay, it's just, remember I said that you could like talk to me about things too, like when I talk to you about that one thing that I don't really normally talk to people about, like, so you can talk to me about things if there's something bothering you.
I don't think I can.
No?
I didn't go to football camp.
Hold on, Katrina needs to process that for a sec. Becky's reaction is much the same, but with less laughing. She's like,
just come here, and I will take her into like a small cafe or something, and I like just sit down.
okay,
Well, I did go
yeah,
for like 2 hours.
right,
Like, look, you know how like you're like super good at, and I tap like the bag with the sketch pad. You're super good at drawing,
yeah,
and Annabeth is like super good at like writing, and Jesse's like super good at music.
yeah, and you're
Well,
super good at football.
Well, no, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I turned up on the first day, and there was all these other kids there, and they were so good. They were like really good. They were like passing to each other and everything. And then I tripped. I didn't do up my shoelace. I was Damien.
Oh god.
And they laughed at me. So I didn't go back. But I didn't tell anyone I wasn't going anymore. So for most of the summer, I've just been like hanging about. Like, you know, when I came up to pick Mumu a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to keep doing that, but I haven't been practicing.
Right. Okay. Just give me a second. And she just thinks about it for a second.
No,
and then
I had to think about it all summer.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's but what about, so there's no Stephanie or Pele or
Frank or Alan. No David, no nothing. No, I was making them up all this time.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Well, that's okay.
No.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay. I've got tryouts in a week. I've not practiced all summer, and my brother's going to be there.
But your brother's really nice and supportive and understanding and the best brother in the world. That's what you always tell us. So why don't you talk to him about it?
No, because I'm going to let him down. Because
You won't let anyone down, Kimberly. You never let anyone down in your entire life.
No. All I do is play a silly game, but it's a game I really love. And then when you go and there are other people there who are much better at the game that will always get picked for first teams and say, oh, Kimberly's left behind. And then Jessie goes away and Annabeth goes away. And you'll go away too because you're super like clever and drawing. And what if I'm not good enough to be a footballer? Some of the time I didn't want to go for the library because I've been in the library. I've been trying to like read recipe books and understand what's in them. But that's hard. I don't have anything. And now everyone's going to know about it at the tryouts because I'm not going to be any good. My brother will know. And it's not about the worst thing would be the pity. I don't want to be pitied. I want to be the best. I don't know what to do.
That sounds like a lot of pressure
that
you're putting on yourself, Kimberly.
And now there's another sport also called football that the Americans do, which is completely different. And now I have to learn about that.
You don't have to learn about American football.
But maybe their tactics will help me.
She kind of like sits next to you and she goes, yes, Annabeth went away and Jessie went away, but I was here all summer. You could have come and spoken to me about this.
I didn't want to worry you. Because like you had like a big breakthrough and I was like, oh, I did that. I am the best footballer. And then I went and I was not the best footballer. I was a Damien.
I think you're the best footballer. You made me want to play camp ball twice.
I mean, camp ball is quite dangerous.
And you give the best pep talks, and that's really important skill for football. And with the cooking thing, it doesn't matter if you can't read the recipes, because there's always different ways of learning. So why don't we go and look at the recipes, and then I can draw how much you need of all the ingredients.
You would do that?
Yeah, sure. I'm practicing drawing new things anyway.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I think she like smiles, and then she goes, so back to the problem at hand. Do you want to go to practice today?
There isn't a practice.
Okay.
Yep.
So what was the plan for today?
I was just going to hang out.
By yourself?
I didn't want to get recognized at the library, and now I think I feel like worse. Look, I understand if you feel betrayed and stuff. I just didn't want to worry you with like my world collapsing all around me.
I don't feel betrayed.
Okay, good.
I just feel like maybe I let you down if you didn't think I was a good enough friend that you talk to.
You were like doing stuff with Moo. Like because I was thinking about the problem we had with Moo. Like I realized, like when I realized I couldn't get into my disguise kits and stuff, I took Moo out on like the beach and stuff a little bit. I was trying to think about like where we could put them. I'm sorry. I should have told you. And thank you. And I feel better, but I wish I hadn't lied to you.
It's all right. It's okay. Let's just figure out what we're going to do now. Hey, we need to get some more neodymium for Moo, right?
Yep. Yes. Yep.
Maybe we could take a sneaky trip over to the harbour. And
okay. Yes. Yep.
We could just go to the skips and get some more.
Yes.
Last time that was incredibly easy for me, so I'm sure that will be this time too.
Aha. Yep. Cool. I can come along. Yep, that sounds good. No problems happened last time. I'll go.
There will be no one that I want to go with more. Briefly thinks of Liam for just a second. But decides that now is not the time to go, except maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, let's go get... We could be Team Neodymium Distraction Force.
Team Neodymium Distraction Force. Badass footballer, badass artist. Bam! Force, go!
Yeah! That's...
Yeah!
Sorry.
Come on, bloaters! And she like runs out the cafe, like with Kimberly's hand in hers, and like runs, I guess, towards the harbour.
Right, okay. Let's move ourselves along just a little bit. Unfortunately for you, Becky, the works on the Clara Eliza have been wrapped up.
Oh.
And so that particular source of neodymium is no longer accessible.
I had a feeling that this
nice try though.
Yeah, no, really good thinking.
Becky is shocked because this was so easy last time.
Yeah, right. Wow.
And I feel like she gets to the skips and like there's no neodymium. Like she could see that the ship's not there anymore, but she doesn't clock. Like she doesn't think about it. And then she gets to the skips and she's like, no. Where did all the... There was so much here.
The ship is missing in the background. Just like, where did it go?
Oh.
Where did it go?
All right. you will be able to reconvene. You will be able
Mhm.
to pass on everything that you have found, Annabeth. However, I'm going to say that it is going to be a couple of days before you feel safe making the trip out to Ormsby Farm. Is there anything anybody would like to do in the meantime? How are things at home? How are things at school? Anything anybody wants to cover, or should we just keep on moving?
I think the only quick thing I'd say is after the failure of Team Neodymium Distraction Force Go, have a look. This was really fun, and I appreciate it. But just don't tell Jesse and Annabeth yet, because I'd feel they'd be really disappointed. Just let me tell them.
Okay. I'm not used to keeping secrets from Annabeth, but I will. You're my
Please
friend,
do.
so
Yes.
I will.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
So at school, we will say some or all of you. It is up to you. I'll explain the scenario, and you can decide whether you want to be a part of this conversation. You are approached by Katie, who was one of the bullies that you encountered. You have been previously encountering in your lives, and she was one of the ones in the market square in spring. But she approaches you, and she has it appears to be a peaceful sort of approach. She's not immediately yelling insults. She's not after anything. She actually has a notebook and pen. And she approaches and says, "Oh, hi. Listen, I've heard some stuff, and I just wondered, I'd like to interview you. Do you think that would be okay? I just have a couple of questions, and I think you would be really great people to talk to. What do you say?"
Interview us for what?
Well, I don't know if you've heard, I'm the president of the newly founded UFO Club, and we are just going around talking to people who have told us that they've seen supernatural things or that we think might be interested in those sort of things. And it's an open invitation. If you wanted to come join the club, we'd love to have you. But yeah, there was some weird stuff going on in the spring. I don't know if you remember, there was lights in the sky and stuff. And we think it was aliens from another planet making contact. And I just wanted to ask you guys your opinions on that. Did you see anything that night? Do you believe in life from other dimensions and planets?
I mean, I don't remember seeing a whole lot. I heard about it, yeah. Uh, yeah, there was some I don't know, weird light maybe over town.
Yeah.
I
Do you remember
didn't.
what color it was? Was there a shape or a pattern to it? Was it pulsing and sending a message,
Pulsing and sending again, I didn't see anything. Yeah, so I couldn't tell you anything
Oh,
really about
man.
details and stuff,
Oh, that's such a
so sorry.
shame. Oh, it was
Yeah.
so cool. I saw it. It was so cool.
Oh yeah, was it pulsing and sending a message?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't know what the code was, but there was definitely something there. Definitely something reaching
Oh,
out.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it just you in the UFO society, or
No,
is it
no. It's actually, we're proven quite popular. Hi, Annabeth. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm really good.
I'm
Did you
glad.
happen to see anything? I heard that
No.
you were writing a sci-fi book. That's so weird. I didn't think
Oh
that that was your kind of thing.
Yeah, I write for all sorts. In fact, over the summer, I was reading the original sci-fi novel. So,
Really? What,
yeah,
what's that? Is it about,
Frankenstein. It's like Mary Shelley is like the mother of all science fiction.
that doesn't have any aliens in it?
No, but it has using weird technology to create stuff that doesn't exist in our world. It's like you can trace it back, and she goes into a full English literature lecture. And anytime that Kitty tries to butt in, she just speaks a little bit louder. Um,
How do you roll
until
to
she's finished.
bamboozle? Incredible.
I think Katie actually has to roll a comprehend.
Um, right. Well, this is about aliens, so never mind.
You can't really make a club about yourself, but you know.
We're now something
Nice
like the fourth
try.
most popular club in school. Actually, we've been inundated with people wanting to join because we're cool and fun, unlike you.
Inundated. Wow.
Right?
So are you just like watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind on a loop or something?
No,
Or
we're out exploring and looking for supernatural things that have been going on. You'd be surprised if you left your room ever, Jesse, of what you might be able to find out there in the real world.
I see enough of the real world. I'm just wondering where you're looking for all these supernatural things.
Well, maybe if you wanted to join the club, you would be able to find out.
I think I'm good. I think I'm solid. Thank you, though.
Great. All right. Well, it was lovely talking to you guys.
Oh my god, so great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was mediocre at best, and I leave.
Katie definitely marks a condition.
Psychic damage of some
The
sort.
burn
Yeah.
condition.
The burn condition.
Annabeth is mean to like a very select few number of people, and Katie just happens to be on that list.
Yeah,
Wait, hang on, was
just-
that okay? Is everyone all right? That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
okay. She's left with all her teeth intact, so I think she should count.
As soon as I
What
saw
the
her,
heck?
yeah, as soon as I saw her, I was like,
Stop.
nope, and I just turned around and just went the other way.
I feel like Becky went with Kimberly because Becky does not vibe with those bullies.
I think-
And of
I think-
course, we're feeding into the rumor now
Mhm.
that Katrina knows is happening.
Hey, Kat. Do I have permission at some point during the episode to like drop or like have my mom drop that she's seen like your name on a piece of paper with Kimberly's surname for a misunderstanding? Is that something that you would consent to happening? Because I think it'd be funny, but I don't want to do it if it makes you uncomfortable.
that could be funny.
I'm happy for that.
Yeah. Yes,
As the indirect person of this, so yeah.
Yeah, I figured Kat was the main person to ask for consent, and then you were going to be the follow-up. But because it is Becky and Becky's character, where all of this energy is coming from.
Becky
Incredible.
Chettelberg.
Absolutely incredible.
Okay.
The assumption that if it was Kim, it would be Becky to change her name. I just love that.
I know.
Incredible.
Chettelberg is a strong British name.
It really is. Kind of a long line of Chettelbergs. So one day during the week, it's been the first week back at school. This is all kicking off. This is all happening. And you've got this pressure in the back of your mind. You know you need to find somewhere for Mumu to go. And so you're checking in fairly regularly, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay. One night, whichever night that you want, you are all making your way to the hideout after school to check in on Mumu. And what is the Wendy house? Remind me what it looks like from the outside. As you're approaching, what do you see?
I feel like
Like
it looks like a shell, like a shell of a part of like a robot or some big machinery that's like got most of its metal, but it's like rusting, scrap, and bits of it are missing.
Excellent.
Yeah,
We've
like windows.
sourced other things, other like
yeah, to
big
fill
pieces.
in the gap.
There's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I distinctly remember us in spring filing off serial numbers.
Mhm.
Or at the beginning of summer filing off serial numbers. Like it's all like discarded scrap because I don't remember who it was who originally had a Wendy house that got blown down.
I think it was
and this
you, wasn't it?
I don't know that it was me. Unsure. TBD.
Anyway.
But yes, the whole point is that our original hideout, an actual Wendy house, got blown down, and this was our solution, our self-made solution.
Yeah, a preventative measure. I love that. I get that. Okay, so you arrive and you let yourselves in, and it's been a bit of a tip, let's be honest. Keeping Mumu in there in a space that is clearly becoming too small for her. It's always been a bit of a mess. But this is something else. It's carnage. It's absolute chaos. Everything that is in there has been spilt, knocked over, pushed aside. Nothing is where it belongs. And as you look around, you don't see Mumu. Mumu is gone. You look around panicked, and you can see in one corner of the Wendy house a panel, a fairly new panel, is gone. It has been pushed aside. It has been pushed through from the outside. And now there is a big gaping hole in the side of the Wendy house. And Moo cannot be seen. What do you do?
Okay. Okay. This is not
Bad.
fine.
Bad. This is bad.
This
This is bad.
this is bad. What time of day is it? It's afternoon?
Yeah, it's maybe 3:30, 4 p.m. after school.
Oh, even worse. Fantastic. Okay.
The worst possible time, some might say.
We need to be quick. Okay. You guys look around for clues. Just give me a second. Give me a second. And I'm gonna sit down in the sand. And try not to hyperventilate. And I'm going to try and use my connection if not to get a ping on where Mumu is specifically, to at least because I think something that happened when Annabeth went to New York is she would constantly reach out to Mumu on the journey to the airport, and she could feel that connection getting weaker, and because she was just testing it because she was worried about leaving. So I think she won't be able to know how many miles away Mumu is, but basically are you close by? Are you get a gauge for how far away Mumu has potentially gotten?
Okay. So I'm going to ignore what is written in the book because I don't think it works for us.
Sorry, Oz.
Sorry, Oz. It's great. It's just not right for us. Roll me an empathize check.
Okay. Empathize. So that would be 6, but I'm upset still with Jessie, so that's only 5. That's okay. That's 1 success in there, and that's all I need, baby.
Mumu feels great. Mumu is not, let's say, less than half a mile away, and Mumu's having the time of her life.
Oh.
You can sense an elation. You can sense a freedom, a curiosity, an intrigue, and a sort of a drive of, I'm going to go look for something. I'm going to go find what I need.
Oh no.
Oh, it's looking for Neo.
He's looking for the neodymium.
He's happy. Mumu's happy.
Okay, I have good news. And I have slightly less good news, depending on your perspective on things. So he's good. He's having the time of his life, and we love Mumu. She's such a little scamp. She's, I would say, half a mile, within half a mile, looking for something. I'm assuming neodymium because we've run out of that. So if we could just figure out what direction that they've gone in, it should be relatively easy unless they did the zigzaggy thing. Clues. What did you all find?
To start out running out and looking for tracks.
Hit me with an investigate.
I have a success.
Excellent. That is all that you require. Tracks is absolutely the right thing to look for. And you find them. You can see so Mumu's footprints are just circles, just perfect circles with her trunky little legs.
Mumu.
You can see with 1 success, how much do you get? You can figure that from where the tracks begin and how they're moving and how the panel has been moved, Mumu has broken out. Nobody's been, there's no foul play, nobody's come and stolen Mumu. Mumu's just off on an adventure because that's where Mumu wants to go. You can see that the tracks sort of lead over the dunes and towards the first row of houses that backs onto the beach. You lose them once it leaves the sand, but it's definitely heading in that direction.
This
I think
wouldn't
Becky
happen
runs
to
in
be
and
towards
conveys
Kimberly's
this
house.
immediately.
Sorry, you both
Yeah, both at
perfectly
the same
talked over one
time.
another.
It's incredible.
You started and ended at the exact same moment. One at a time.
Becky runs in and conveys that information immediately. Is what
Great. Annabeth?
This wouldn't happen to be in the direction of Kimberly's house, would it?
Hard to say. How close to the Wendy house is Kimberly's house?
I mean, I think it's close to the beach in general because it gets the passing traffic of
Mhm.
people like, I want ice cream. No, you don't. You want fish and chips.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're in the same area, but it's not like a direct. There's not a beeline that you can tell is being made.
It was more for like not stressing out that like.
No. Sorry, this is a continue to stress out situation. Sorry.
Okay, right, I'm gonna continue to stress out.
Cool. You do that.
Does
Momo's heading towards houses. We have to go now.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I inject the right amount of stress into the situation?
Absolutely perfect. I'm gonna grab some things unless anyone else wants to do stuff before we run off. I'm just gonna grab some battery packs and Mumu's favorite blanket. Just so that way we are prepared with food and comfort for when we find Mumu.
I think Becky is gonna grab the disguise that she has been working on for Mumu. Like, and it's not much at the moment. It's literally like essentially a mane made from like old mop heads, and like a tail made from like mops as well, old mops, and the beginning of like something that makes the snout look a bit more horse-like, but it's really not like it's. I'm
Incredible.
not saying it's good right now. It's like incomplete, I would think, but it's something. I think Becky's just like, we might need to get Mumu home, so this is how we're gonna do it.
Where are you getting all these mop heads from?
What an excellent question.
Kimberly's parents throw them out
Yeah,
on a regular
don't
basis.
judge. Don't judge.
I feel like Annabeth's mum might have had to buy a number of new mops recently. Like they just keep going missing. Maybe her and Kevin have had an argument or two about where have you left the mop.
Are you sowing discourse in our
I'm not
home?
meaning to, but Becky is working on an art project.
Oh, perfect! I love it.
And I thought Annabeth would get behind that, yeah. Yeah.
No,
so
that was Taylor, not Annabeth.
incredible.
All right, you're being quick. You've grabbed your things. You're following the trail
yeah.
On bikes.
on the bikes. Excellent.
On the bikes.
So
Gotta
you
move
cross
fast.
the dunes. You get back to the main road, the sort of coast road, and you just continue to head in that direction. And you immediately hit like the next row behind the front, like the beach front, is actually a short row of 5 houses, and you don't immediately see anything. Knowing that Mumu's on foot, you don't know how long it's been since they got out. This is probably the first sort of interesting area that they would have come across. You can see that it's quite a nice day still. Like it's early September, so you're getting sort of some nice evening sunshine, and this street is now populated with people who are taking advantage of that. You can see adults tidying gardens, sitting in the sun. You can see kids playing in the street. But you cannot see Mumu.
Listening out, do we hear any sort of commotion that does not sound like joyful screams, but possibly confused terror, horror?
Screams. Yeah. Screams.
Nothing of that
Okay.
nature.
Bad screams.
Cool.
See-
Oh,
Good screams only.
great.
See, my thing was gonna be let's look for like knocked over mailboxes and stuff like that. But Mumu has always been the perfect gentleman, and when investigating, doesn't do vandalism. and
They'll
so I
battle
don't
their way out of the.
like this is the first time that Mumu has ever done a vandalism. Let's be real. Like like the last time that they caused any sort of lasting damage, they licked a power socket. Like, and that wasn't like physical damage. So I don't know.
Respectfully, we must remember that one of Mumu's role models is Kimberly.
Ah, I'm gonna look for Knocktober mailboxes.
Okay.
And like that kind of, and like you know when like Hedges got that dent in them because somebody is like
got that done. Absolutely. Sounds like another investigate.
Okay, only 7 dice this time because again, I keep glancing at Jessie. But also, I'm upset that we've lost Mumu. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Again, 7 dice. I got 3 5s, 2 3s, and 2 1s. Now I'm angry because we had a plan. Mumu just had to wait a day. Like that was it. That was literally it. Why does nobody in this gosh darn place have any patience? Including myself. That's a 6. 1 3. So I'm angry now too.
Angry is not a condition, but upset is. We can reframe
was I
upset
thought
that.
what was it's
were
angry,
upset.
exhausted,
Scared, upset, injured, and exhausted.
oh, scared.
Scared.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take scared then. I was
Yeah,
like
it's explosive.
and attached to angry.
Yeah. And also, like, as something that I care about is missing. What could possibly be happening? That's definitely the emotion. So that was just one success.
Just one.
One success. You get 2 questions. What is hidden here? Where is it? What does it mean? What has happened here? How can I get in, out of, past? What threats can I perceive? And the classic, where is it?
I'm gonna go with the classic. Where is it?
Yep.
Give me both questions at once, and I'll give you some nice narrative.
And I guess what has do we think Mumu is hiding? Is the question. Do I want to go what happened here, or do I want to go what's hidden? You know what? I'm gonna change my. I'm gonna go with what is hidden here and what happened as my 2 questions.
Excellent. Okay. What is hidden here is Mumu. You feel
is here.
Yes, you can feel from that connection that you have narrowed the distance and she's close. What is hidden here and where is it? It's in one of these gardens. The enjoyment that Mumu is feeling, that you can feel passing along that link, is the same that these people outdoors are getting. Like, it is that very specific enjoyment of the out of doors, of the sunshine, of the grass, of the sort of things that you can enjoy by sitting in a front garden at 4 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon. They're enjoying one of these gardens and they're very close by. What happened here, I can directly reference the initial inquiry that you had. There are 5 gardens. The second one along from where you are, you can see that the gate, the fence, has been pushed down. The gate hasn't been opened, it's just been walked over.
Gosh darn it, Mumu.
No.
So naughty.
Oh no, Mumu did a vandalism.
Another vandalism.
And as vandalisms today.
And as you watch, like, the lady who lives in that house comes walking out and looks down at her fence, perplexed, and sort of picks up this gate and just...
Kimberly.
I can't take another crime. But this is on Mumu.
Okay. Quick, give me your football.
Which one?
The American one.
Okay. Give it across.
I'm bad at sports. No, you do it. Throw it into the garden. Throw it into the garden.
I have to call for a force roll. I just have to.
Please don't break this lady's windows.
Come on,
lady. Okay, you ready? 1 success.
Okay, yeah, you managed to. Which garden are you aiming for? The second one, the one with the broken fence?
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
It kind of lands on the ground and rolls in that awkward, bobbly way that American footballs do, and sort of knocks up
Oh.
against the foot of this woman.
Oh, sorry. Can I have it back,
Um,
please?
Yeah, of course. What?
Bro,
Yeah.
go long, go long.
I don't recognise you lot. You're not from around here, are you?
We were
No.
playing on the beach
Yep.
on our way home.
Okay. She picks up the football and holds it.
Oh no, go long, throw.
I don't. She just kind of lobs it underarm.
Oh,
It's the pavement and just. It came nowhere near. There was nowhere
While
near enough
she's
force.
distracted, can I try to sneak into the garden?
Absolutely, you can sneak roll.
Yes!
I'm so glad you picked it up. I'm so glad.
Oh boy. Okay.
Character growth. All round the
I'm
table.
not even going to ask permission. Becky is just doing the thing with a tarot card in mind. She's like, reverse hanged man. And she just
I'm so proud of you, baby sis.
for Liam's love, I will do this.
Oh my god.
Wait
Wow.
a second. Hang on. Let's hit the break
2
down.
successes!
Let's go.
The power of love!
Okay, excellent. So, delightedly, I'm now at the point of running this game where I don't need to check the book for sneak bonus effects because you've done them so often. You can give somebody else a success on a sneak if you want to take somebody else with you, or you can discover more of what you were after.
I think I'm actually going to take someone with me.
Okay.
And I feel like it's going to be Annabeth.
I'm helping Kimberly
Yes.
out.
You're
Right,
helping
you've got
me.
it.
distraction.
Take Jessie then. I just grab and leave them two to it then. But my only reasoning for Annabeth originally was because Annabeth has the connection and the snacks and the things. But
I know, but I spoke to the lady,
Yep.
so I feel like I can't then sneak away.
So you'll just feel like Jessie might be like a little bit distracted by the conversation, and then you'll just feel this like hand tug you. And I will grab Jessie and go darting from bush to bush and sort of like get behind the lady and into the garden.
Great. Okay. So you make your way into the first garden first. Are you like going into the garden and moving through on?
Yeah,
like, immediately going behind her and moving along that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. So you make your way through the first garden. There's nothing in particular interesting here, but you can tell that you do actually pick up on one or two of Mumu's footprints in like flower beds, but they're all muddled. There's no direct path. Mumu obviously got here and was like, let's explore. This is wonderful. So you know that you're definitely in the right area without Annabeth having to tell you, but you can't pinpoint the creature just yet. Moving into the second garden behind this lady, you can see that she's seen that this has happened. She's brought some tools. She's getting ready to repair this fence. You don't immediately see anything that says Mumu's here. Would you like to move on further, or stop and take another action in this garden?
I want to see if I can see any trace of because Mumu's obviously been here.
Yes.
If there's any trace of where Mumu went next.
It's pretty much the same as the first garden. There are footprints here, but a path is not discernible.
Okay. I will, until Mumu's pretty big. I feel like I would see Mumu if they were in this garden. So I'm going to just keep moving. I'm just going to keep moving until I find Mumu.
Moving.
Moving.
Moving. Into the next garden. You do not see Mumu. What you do see is a cat. A small orange tom is huddling in the hedge in between the garden that you've just entered and the next garden. Would one of either you or Jessie like to give me an empathize roll, please?
How is my
Who's good with empathize?
I've got 6 in
Sure.
empathize.
I'll empathize with a cat. I've got, if alchemy went, I've got 7 in empathize.
Ooh, go for it.
You do your
Oh, Jessie.
Go.
speak to that cat's heart. What is this cat telling you?
First a tape and now a cat.
Mm-hmm. On fire.
Please.
Speak to me of this cat.
That was a satisfying thud.
Not so much.
It is not.
Oh.
No.
Wow.
There's something weird about this cat.
Guys, we had this conversation last time.
There's something odd about this cat, but you can't discern what it is that's wrong with it.
Can I try? Or
It's not even responding to the
Nope.
I'm gonna try to also empathize with the cat.
Alrighty.
Let's see what happens. Oh no! May I try and use a luck?
Go on then. I'm gonna say that's it though. No pushing on this one because you've taken a couple of attempts.
You're right. I understand. Let's try it. Damn, we're not bad at empathize either. No, that's it. That's it. We are not cat whisperers.
No, you're not cat
Or
people.
dog people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, pygmy
Panic.
hippo people.
Just panicking.
Yep.
Get the cat.
It's just a weird cat. There's something weird going on with this cat.
I really want to know.
It's okay. We can ask Darcy at the end of the session
Just like,
what
could
the cat.
possibly be going on with this cat that we can't discern just by looking at it? That it's like there's a weirdness about this cat. If this cat turns out to be Moo Moo, I am actually.
It's actually Moo Moo.
It's actually
Incredible.
like Moo Moo has
so
learned
funny.
how to transform into other creatures, and we're just like
Amazing.
freaking out. I've been making a disguise for the last 3 weeks. Okay.
God.
I'm gonna keep going. So the cat is like between the two fences, between the garden we're in and the next garden.
That's right.
I'm gonna ignore the cat. Sorry, cat.
Okay.
We're going into the next garden.
Okay. I will give you a slight heads up before you cross the hedge. You approach the hedge where the cat is, ready to cross into the next garden. You become quickly aware that there are people in this next garden. There is
Ooh.
a woman on a patio chair reading a book, and in front of her, her young toddler is playing in a paddling pool.
Oh no. Oh no. And I guess I don't see Moo Moo also playing in a paddling pool in any way or form.
Do not see Moo Moo.
Mercifully now.
Okay.
Either one of you,
Mhm.
give me an investigate roll.
Okay. I don't mind doing it. I have a 6 in investigate, but see what do you have?
Alchemy is really slow on my computer, so hold
It's
on.
okay.
Hey Fiona, you alright over there?
Yeah, you do it.
I just feel like
You
Moo Moo
do
is going to do
it.
the horror thing and be on the ceiling. Like, look up.
I feel like,
Like if Moo was flying, I'd actually be really, really
oh my
happy.
goodness, we're just running from garden to garden and none of us have looked up.
The one thing you do in horror films, you always look up, and no matter what you have to look
Never
up.
look up. I'm
We're
playing Alien with you.
outside.
Never look up.
Look up. I'm just thinking Moo Moo's on the ceiling of the sky. That's it.
I swear, Darcy, if Moo Moo is on a roof, you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Let's see. Let's see what this
Let's
investigate
see.
roll
We're
comes out
doing
at.
an investigate. You what's your investigate?
It's like 4, so please
Okay.
roll.
I'm gonna try it. Let's see. Let's see how we do. Come
On
on.
dice.
Oh no.
No, come
I have
on.
one.
How
Well,
is this going
well, I'll allow-
so
I'll allow
badly
it.
for us?
I have a luck left. So this was
I'll
my
also
only luck.
say
That's
may
okay,
not
this is
wanna
my
use-
only luck.
you may not want to use this yet, but you could probably make an argument for your pride here if you wanted to use it to score the automatic success.
You do see things differently than other people.
Oh, I do, don't I? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, I should have done this with a cat. Okay.
Priorities here.
The cat is a fairy. Did you put an actual fairy in this game and I've just
I didn't-
like, missed it? I'm gonna be
I didn't
so
write the game.
angry. Okay. Okay.
I'll never
okay.
tell.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna take a moment, and I'm gonna be looking around. I'm gonna look at this woman and this toddler and this paddling pool. I'm desperately trying to find Moo Moo, and then it's like Auntie Ethel's voice goes through my head and just goes, fresh perspective. And I just do something that makes me see it differently.
You stop looking for what is there and start trying to pick up on what isn't there. And as you look through this hedge, as you look at this paddling pool where this adorable little girl is soaking up the last of the sun and the water and the play, it's the weirdest thing. There's a bit of water missing. It's almost as if somebody had taken a cookie cutter and just popped it in the water.
Wait a minute!
And
Can
taken
we
it
go
out.
invisible?
You know what? I think we're okay. I think we're okay.
I did work for weeks.
Moon's not on the ceiling. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Okay. Becky is gonna take a second, and I just need to know that Kat is understanding this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Is Moo in this paddling pool invisible right now?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, Becky is gonna stop Jessie in tracks, like crouch down behind a bush in this garden, and she's gonna go, oh my god,
Bex, what's up?
the pool! Look at the pool! Moomoo's in the paddling pool.
No.
Incredible.
What do you mean? Was it there's a child in the pool?
The water, Jessie.
Yes, there's normally water in a pool. What are you?
Oh my god. I think Moo has learnt a new ability.
Moo's in the pool.
Moo's in the pool. Just because we can't see Moo doesn't mean Moo's not in the pool.
That's
food on you.
Do I? No, Annabeth has the batteries.
Okay. I'm gonna see. Oh goodness, I'm gonna see. Is Jessie see it now, or is Jessie just totally like?
Jessie believes you.
Sounds like it, fam.
No, Jessie believes you more than he's seeing like the displacement that you're seeing. He's more focused on the fact that if Moo is where Becky is saying she's in a pool with a toddler and there's a mother there. How are we gonna get her out of the pool? Like it's that's where Jessie's mind is right now.
Okay. Okay. Plans slightly forming. This is possibly going to go very badly. I'm going to. Where is this cat right now?
The cat is like next to you guys now. It is in between these two gardens. And looking back at it now, you can recognize that cat is freaked out. It can also see Moo and does not want to go anywhere near it.
I see the cat can see Moo. Okay, brilliant. I'm about to get so scratched. I am going to. I'm gonna pick up the cat.
Okay, that immediately requires a roll. What on earth?
I'm gonna try to go into the garden with the cat.
I feel like I kind of want that to be a charm.
Oh no, please, not a charm. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I can't see anything else that would befit that.
That's fine. I'm gonna try. And what I'm basically doing, what the plan is to go in and try and engage with this mother and child by being like, "Is this your cat? Have you lost your cat?"
I'm with you.
just
Okay.
found this cat, and I think it might be yours. Type vibes.
It might be your cat. Yes, this cat.
Try to get into the garden.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call that a charm roll for the whole kit and caboodle, if you will.
Amazing.
Just so you're all aware,
How's
I
your charm?
2 dice in
I
charm.
I remember from last time. Is
Yeah.
there any
Well,
way
you
that
succeeded.
what's the help mechanic in this game?
You need to narratively explain how you're helping, and that will give Becky an extra die.
All right, Ren, you got this.
Do I?
Well, I'm not there, so I can't do it.
Okay, so Becky is doing.
Becky is currently chasing a cat.
Chasing it. Oh God. Okay. What's happening? I think
a lot of gumption this episode, and like far more than she normally does.
No, it's great. It's really impressive. I think once you start heading towards the cat, Jessie is, if it starts to like freak out and flee, then Jessie is gonna position themselves in a way to like guard.
We're both gonna
yeah.
This is true. If helping in a roll and you fail, you both suffer the consequences of the failed roll.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with that? I'm happy to take the hit.
Let's get scratched. Let's go.
Incredible. Okay, I'm gonna roll charm. And what does this give me again? Remind me.
+1.
An extra D6.
I'll need all the help I can get.
An extra chance of success.
Let me just roll. Okay, that's 0. So let me just roll that extra 1.
Okay.
And just see.
Come on, Jessie.
No. Okay, I'm getting scratched. Well, I do have a luck, but I. Okay.
I think you might need it. Yeah.
Here's the thing about failed rolls.
Yeah.
I don't have my list up. Failed rolls, you can still get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Just comes with consequences.
I feel like I might do that, and I might say that injured feels very apt.
Excellent. Yeah.
I feel like
you get what you want.
Scratched.
You gain the injured condition. You get hold of the cat, but it's fighting back.
Yep.
And that almost gives you an in. That's like, I know Katrina the cat person
Katrina
is like
the cat
crying.
owner hates this, but
Yeah.
like we're doing it.
That almost gives you an in. You're like, oh my god, this cat's freaking out and scratching me. Who will save me? Whose cat is this? So you do manage to get a hold of it, and you definitely catch the attention of the woman reading in the next garden.
Okay. I'm just gonna barrel into the garden. Blood dripping from the scratches on my arms, and just be like, is this your cat? I just found it and it's freaking out. It seems really upset, and I'm hurt. And I'm just gonna play on it like
Wow.
So given that we said that helping makes you bounce the consequence as well, Jesse, I'm gonna say you have to mark a condition as well. It can be injured because of the cat's ricocheting between you and scratching you both, or it can be something different.
Jesse's just tired.
Exhausted, scared, upset. Yeah, I think we'll just work with injured for now.
Okay.
Just tripped over myself. Hurt my arm.
Cool. So you are going to mark it injured as well, or something different?
Yes, injured as well.
Cool. It makes a lot of sense. It sucks for you, but it makes a lot of sense. So yes, you interrupt the woman, and you can see that she's reading a steamy romance novel. She is absorbed in this book. But she is startled and like immediately wide-eyed and terrified. What cat? I don't have a cat. What are you doing in a hedge? What is happening?
What is happening?
What is happening? I've not been in this universe. I've been in here. What's going on out here? You also see like
Poor
one of the first
woman.
things she does is
She's
check on the
getting
girl.
well into this steamy novel.
Yep.
You
Oh no.
just fully pulled her from the fantasy.
She was getting to the good part and everything.
Oh,
The first thing she does is she's like, Melissa, are you okay? Okay, what is going on? She shows
No.
herself that the kid is okay, and
I just noticed that this cat was really. Do you have like plasters or something?
I don't recognize you. What's
We were
yes.
playing by the beach and we were just on our way home. We don't live around here.
No, I don't recognize you. Leave that cat. The cat belongs at number 4. Leave it be.
Oh, I thought it was your cat. I'm sorry.
No, no, it's not. It is behaving rather
She
strangely.
definitely now she's got the attention of the lady. She's going to put this cat down. It's
Yeah.
still probably scratching her up, so she's just like, okay.
It's no way. Like it almost must have felt like you were going to be like, here, come to the strange invisible creature. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
nope, I am
No,
out.
thank you.
I am out. It immediately scarpers as soon as you put it down. You are just left
she
there.
whispers after and like, sorry, kitty.
How is that
Sorry.
simultaneously the most Becky thing in the world and also the most Katrina thing in the world?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
that was a self-insert sentence. So that's just me
Absolutely.
apologizing to the imaginary cat.
I think the cat runs past as Jesse like comes through the head as well. It's like, oh, Becky, did you find a? God, I'm guessing you didn't find.
The cat does actually belong at number 4, but it's okay. This really kind lady is going to go inside and get us some plasters.
She did not agree to this.
Gives the best Becky beam, and just with a little lip tremble, just a little lip tremble alongside, with blood pouring down the arms.
Yes, okay.
We'll be no bother afterwards.
Yes, I'll give you a plaster or 2, and then I think you should be on your way. Disturbing us.
Sorry for the trouble.
That's fine. She's like looking at the kid and thinking, I'm not gonna leave the kid here. Like, you're really weird and you pick up cats. So she's like, Melissa, darling, just come inside with Mummy for a minute. And the kid's like, I don't really want to, but I'll get you an ice lolly. I'll get you a fab.
Hey.
That's an 80s reference for you. So yeah, she like scoops up the girl, and you like watch her walk up to the pool and kneel down.
Yeah.
But she just scoops up the girl and heads inside.
Okay, great.
Hey, as soon as she's inside, Jesse goes to this pool. Momo.
Momo.
And it's just like reaching out into the middle distance.
Mhm.
Like, Momo.
Your hand hits something solid.
Can I ask
And
a question?
please.
The back door, does it like lock from the outside? Is there a lock? Is there a way I could lock this one?
No, this is you're at the front door. These are the front gardens that you're on the main street. These are front doors, so no.
Oh.
Nice idea though.
Yeah. No,
Trying to
criminal.
buy
That's
some
an awful
more.
idea.
I mean, oh no!
Jesse, your hand stretches out and hits something solid and familiar. Like, Mumu's skin is kind of not massively dissimilar from human skin, but there's a very oily quality. Like, she constantly secretes this oily substance that coats her skin, so it's definitely her. And you feel like you can hear and see her like splashing about in the pad, like, the kid's gone, I've got the whole thing to myself. Splash, 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 splash. And you feel a surge of happiness, Annabeth. That's like, friends, hello. I'm having a great time. Won't you
What are
join
me
me?
and Kimberly doing?
You and Kimberly have been having a brief conversation with this person with the gate. I don't know. Are you offering to help? Are you making excuses? How are you extricating yourself from that interaction?
You see, so my friend went to America, and she brought me this football, but they call it football, but no, we call it football. They call it soccer, and it's not like a football, and that's what I'm engaging with.
Incredible.
If that works, again, whatever Annabeth would like to do, contribute.
Like, Annabeth is like fully just kind of allowing this to happen.
Like, yes, Annabeth.
Can I? Can I?
Yeah, to a degree, yeah. You can sort of see their heads over the hedges are sort of like
I'm
like-
kind of keeping a casual eye.
Okay.
I'm trying so hard not to be like sulky in the back. And
they use violence as their main tactic on the.
Becky is gonna do a very not casual wave over.
Kimberly, I think we've
Yep.
taken up enough of this poor woman's time.
Okay.
We're so sorry to disturb you, ma'am. It won't happen again. And I just kind of I'd like go to link arms with Kimberly to like kind of drag her away, and then think about Becky and just like, come on, let's go. And like stop the motion.
I go next. I go next time, not under, over, and then pulled away.
They think about Becky.
Yeah. Yeah, Becky's being
No,
weird,
Becky's
and I'm like, I don't wanna. I don't wanna make this. I don't wanna make this weird because this is already weird enough with whatever is happening with.
I've been a bit of a gremlin in this session today.
I think when you
banter.
When you round the corner, you just see Jessie with their arms around nothing.
Yeah.
Just like, come on, girl. We gotta get out of the pool. You gotta come with me out of the pool.
Get out right now.
I just like lift the lid of like the flap of my satchel and like flash a battery pack. Does that do anything?
Hit me with another charm. A charm.
A charm?
Charm.
Oh no, I'm not charming. Okay. I would have a.
You get advantage in this. You don't get advantage in this game. What do you get?
Wait, no. Yes, I
get
get something. I get something. I have something.
No, I mean purely because of the battery pack.
No. When Mumu was hatched, I did like some sort of empathy. I succeeded extra on an empathy roll.
Right.
And I got something where I got like a +1d6 bonus to getting Mumu to like do what I say.
I don't remember that.
I do.
That feels like a very benevolent.
No, not like
GM.
not like do
Doesn't
what I
sound like
say.
something
Do
I would
what
do.
I say. Like.
I'm sure. Right. What is it? I'm gonna give you
Oh
it.
no,
I'm
I've got
sure
a
that
+1d6 to make it stay put. Never mind.
Okay.
Opposite. Opposite.
The opposite of what we want.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what we want.
There should be. If there isn't, listen, Free League. Hi, we love you so much. Excellent games, really good. But there should be a way for me to give them an extra d6. If
I
there's
think
something
that comes
think
from
is
the help
particularly
thing.
easy.
It's the push the roll is the thing that gives you advantage, really, because technically you should be able to get more.
Well, actually,
Roll
okay.
again.
I tell you what it probably is. I tell you what the adjudication is. It's probably not actually worth a roll. If it's a
Yeah.
situation where I think that you're pretty secure in being able to do it because of that advantage, it's probably not a roll. Because there's no major consequences. So we'll see. You flash the. I'm not gonna lie. When you said it, open my satchel, I was like, you understand that this Mumu is now too big to fit in your bag anymore.
Small
Not gonna
cow
work,
can't
pal.
fit in my over-the-shoulder satchel. What do you mean, Darcy?
Sorry, dude. It's a cow. You flash the battery pack and Mumu. You can't see Mumu, but you get the sense that it's a look straight up.
I see Jessie shift in a weird way, and I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
perfect. I'm gonna just start casually walking down the street.
Incredible. Okay. As you do so, as you approach the end of that row of houses, Mumu materializes. There's like a flicker and a glitch, and somebody just turns the fade up on that layer of Photoshop, and Mumu is back.
Yes,
Standing there on the
Miles
street.
Morales.
Miles Morales. No, take a -d6 to every roll that you make from now on.
That's 3 conditions, baby.
Injured, exhausted, scared, panicked, cursed by the GM.
I accept. I deserve it.
Okay.
This
Start
running.
Excellent. Mumu takes off after you. Everybody else?
Literally, like Kimberly's like, I've been sprint training, and Annabeth is like, I've never run a day in my life, and I'm about to start. And Fully just begins to
flee.
God.
Becky, do you have the disguise?
Yeah.
Give
Becky
it.
is on it.
Yeah,
Becky's
no.
grabbing the mops.
Grab the mops. Okay.
Putting
I mean,
them on Moo
there's
Moo.
two things we could do. Either we could run after Moo Moo, or I could try throwing again and see if it lands perfectly on Moo Moo as a sort of. I don't know. Yeah, whatever you think.
I see. I think we should run after Moo Moo.
Yep.
But let's save that for Plan B. We've got
Plan B.
that as our next plan. If that fails, yeah, let's run.
All right, come on, Jesse.
Jesse is absolutely not. This? No.
Sorry, Kitty. Sorry to the lady with the steamy romance novel. Sorry to Melissa having fun in the pool.